Good afternoon, it's Quant Trade Edge, and I just wanted to document the MOC trade today, January 2nd, the first trading day of the new year 2024. I was recording this live, and for some reason, right around 2:55, when the real MOC started, my recording stopped, and I just kept talking, I guess. So that video is up there, but it could be a little confusing because it ended right here, and you didn't actually see the move. So I just wanted to talk through the rest of the move and what happened here. So the MOC move takes advantage of the fact that there's a lot of program buying that happens on the close, and being the first day of the year, that's even further accentuated. So typically the MOC starts at 2:55, ends right at 3 o'clock on the dot. On days when there is a strong MOC move, it could start as early as 2:45, and here this is 2:46, and we really see it take off at 2:50. And all that MOC move is a series of higher lows all the way into the close. So here, the first sign that you're having a good MOC move, or that you will have a good MOC move starting at 2:55, is the 250 bar having a lot of volume, and by that I mean over 10,000 contracts. And here we have almost 14,000 contracts. And this was a day where I sort of front ran the MOC move because I expected a big move higher. So I went ahead and got in off of the 250 bar, and then I think I added somewhere in here. It's on the live video. But basically, what's happening here is we're getting a bunch of higher lows, and then now here 254 we had a lower low. But this is really just the shakeout to get the 255 move started. So rather than trail my stop so close as at the previous bar, I trailed it below this bar, so 79 and a quarter. So that saved me by a tick here, and I moved it down to 79 when the actual MOC started, because the actual MOC opening bar is 80.50, which means you would get long at 82. With a stop at 79. So this would have been the stop at 79, and you would have gotten long at 82 right here. So, trailing below previous bars. So this was your initial stop. After you got into this bar, this became your stop. After you got into this bar, this became your stop. And then here, on the video, on the video that I thought I recorded, I dropped down to a 10-second chart, and I think we can do the same here. Sub-minute. Yeah, and here, I was expecting the 259 bar to push up even higher, but the fact that it took out this level here, this 86.50, I just dumped it. And it did, kind of make this little move down, and then came back and closed up in this range. And we'll go back to the 1-minute chart. If you were just managing this mechanically, then yes, you would have gotten stopped out below the low of this bar, so 84.75 after having entered at 82. But today, part of the beauty of the trade came from that pre-MOC movement, especially this 250 bar. The other thing I mentioned on that video is after you get a good MOC bar, the next bar you typically get a retracement. And again, depending on the ranges you're dealing with here, 2 points would have been easy to catch. This bar closed at 87.50. This bar got down to 85.25. Or if you look at the open of this bar, it was 88. So this close really wasn't 87.25. It was actually higher. This is a settlement bar. So they changed this. So this was initially a green candle based on where the 3 o'clock trade would have been. But then with a settlement process, settled it a little bit lower, probably because of this little spike here. So really from this bar open of 88, it went down 11 ticks. So you could have caught 6 to 8 ticks of that. And I call that the post-MOC move. And the reason I think that happens is that whomever is manipulating this higher over here, you can tell they lost control of it here, and they came back and just rammed it up as best they could because they have so much more riding on that settlement price. And in doing so, they probably went longer than they needed for their position. So this is them just flipping right out of it on the next bar. And the reason they do that, so they're basically buying this up, selling this down, and they may even lose money on doing that. It's just because they have a much larger exposure based on where that bar settles. So they want to do everything they can to make that bar settle higher. So that's pretty much the MOC trade in a nutshell. Definitely would have been a lot more impressive had the video worked and you saw all of this happen live, and you could even see my comments and emotions intra bar here. I think it was somewhere around here. I was wondering if if it was going to fail. Then somewhere up in here, I was wishing I'd added on more. It's just all the normal emotions that you go through on a trade. The key is to not let those emotions run into your actions. Your actions have to come straight from your brain, which are following, the rules of your trade. So anyway, here's a good MOC trade. I hope you guys all had a good start to the new year.